Alrighty, boys and girls, well, we do have a situation now in the market, right? Once again, Bitcoin has a red day, right? Bitcoin is going down now at 64K. Our meme coins over with. Meme coins are bleeding, the market is bleeding, everything is bleeding, and our portfolios are not doing that great. A lot of altcoins are down from their all-time high, probably like now witnessing your wealth diminishing. And the obvious question now here is this over with, right? The most obvious question. Bull market over. Were we even in a bull market? Are meme coins over? Is the meme coin cycle over? Is everything over? What's happening, right? So we're gonna talk about this in today's video. We're gonna also talk about some juicy meme coins to get into right now, as we do have a dip, right? So with no further ado, let's get into today's video. You know what to do, guys. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to stay updated. We're doing this. We're gonna keep going. We're gonna keep pushing forward. Crypto is our ticket to freedom. So today, right, you woke up. If you've been through bear markets before, for you that's pretty much business as usual, but for a lot of people this is crazy, right? It's never seen before. Meme coins are down, Bitcoin is down. What's up with that now? So the most important question to really answer here is the market gonna go up overall, right? What's gonna happen here, right? And are we still gonna have a bull market? That's the most important question, right? If we do answer this one, it's gonna kind of solve everything else. So we first have to look at Bitcoin first, right? So just for those really wondering, what is the support on Bitcoin? Please God, make this stop. We want this to stop right now. That's it. We're over this now. We want this to reverse back up, right? So by now you've all noticed now that Bitcoin leads the market. If Bitcoin goes down, the party is pretty much wrapping up, right? And if Bitcoin goes up, the party starts. So today we've got this kind of disgusting red candle on Bitcoin, and what we've witnessed so far here is fake out to the upside around 74K, which was the all-time high, and then we had a fake out to the downside, right, around 56K. And pretty much since Bitcoin entered this range, which was around March 2024, right, Bitcoin has just been going sideways. And at that time also we've seen a lot of coins pumping. We had Pepe pumping, we had a lot of coins pumping, and we pretty much enjoyed a pretty decent meme coin season. We had made some gains. We were very happy with what we were seeing in that time, but now it's not doing much, right? But so Bitcoin is still in this range. That's what we want to know, right? Bitcoin is still trading within this range, and the price low of this range is around 62K, right? And we haven't lost that range, which means we're still within the range, which means we're still bullish overall, right? Like in the low time frame, nothing really bad happened besides like a drop, right, of what, like 2%, right? A 2% drop was enough to scare everyone. This shows you also how the market is like so anxious right now, and everyone is over leveraged out of their mind, and it just shows you, right? A 2% drop got everyone bearish. But when we look at the chart and we see this, right, so if you really look at Bitcoin, if this is really it, right, look at this, right? So Bitcoin has just been going up overall. This is a bullish structure. If I did not know this chart and I was just looking at it and I'm like, wait a second, like this thing has just been going up for a long time. Like it's been over a year, 2 years now. Like this is December 2022, where Bitcoin just decided, you know what, fuck it, let's just keep going up, right? And we also spent some range, like let's say here to here. This was around 220 days of just sideways, right? This was also where Pepe first time started its pump, like it was here or here, one of these. Pepe started its first rally, and we had a meme coin season and all that stuff, right? So this was 220 days, and now, right, because now people get used to the pumps, sir, we want more pumps, right? So how long we've been in this range? Like we entered around March, and this been only like 100 days, but people are getting more impatient because people want to get rich quick now, because look, we've been going up, we've been putting this 100%, 200% every day, every meme coin pumps, and party was great. What's happening? But so we know, right, Bitcoin was trading within this range for 220 days, right, between this price, right, this price here around 25K and here around 31K. So you can bet, right, like it's 25K here. People were screaming, oh my god, this is going down, that's it, the bull market is over. The same thing we're seeing now. And here, oh my god, we're back, we're so back, we're gonna pump again. But if you remember, guys, what happened here is once we broke out, people were calling for this is a fake out, a bull trap, and this is gonna reverse, and that was the most hated rally. And from there we just went and kept going. This was also where BONK and DOGECOINE had appeared and all that stuff, and we just kept going, right, non-stop to the all-time high, right? We had an all-time high of 5K or 74K, right? And we also had a bear trap here, bear trap means like people get fearful and it looks like we're gonna go down. We had another one here, right? And we had a bear trap a few times, right? Like we had one bear trap here, and we had another bear trap here, and we had this one here, and we had this one here. So overall, we've had like 1, 2, 3, 4 bear traps, right? But overall, it's an uptrend. It's a trending market that is going higher, right? On like this low time frame, let's call it, or like a 1 year period, or let's say, right? And short term here, what I do think personally, right? The low of this range is 62, right? So we've seen this playing over and over. Bitcoin likes to range and then pumps or dumps, right? Like it does one of these. But overall, the trend is your friend, right? So if the trend is up, then the chances of it breaking up again is most likely than of it breaking down. So we could see two of these things playing, right? We could see Bitcoin going here and just right 62k, 63k, and then decide, okay, we bounce back up, or another bear trap, right? Another bear trap, which will mean Bitcoin will go around just right below 60k, and that's it, just to get everyone bearish enough and selling everything, right? Because that's what the market wants you to do always, right? The market wants you to sell low and buy high. That's always what the market wants you to do. Market wants you to sell here and sell at a loss, and the Bitcoin Telegram group, right? These Bitcoin Illuminati will be laughing on Telegram saying that the Jeets got out here, they sold at a loss, and then they will be laughing again when you buy again here, right? The Bitcoin Telegram Illuminati group. So that's what the market wants you to do. So what the market will want to do if we see a fake out, right, which is gonna take Bitcoin right here, right? Maybe 58k, 68k or something like that, which I don't think it's the most likely one, right? The most likely is 63, as really like there are not enough sellers anymore. Like the sellers are pretty much exhausted, as you can see here. Like there were not enough sellers to just keep pushing the price, and there is even more interest, right? People want to buy now because of the Bitcoin ETF, right? So that's what I'm thinking. 62k, bounce back up. We might see another fake out to the upside again, right? We might just see it coming back again here, but this would mean, right, another ignition towards meme coins, altcoins, another breath of fresh air, people rebuying their bags, right? Because you see this redness here, these are the spaghetti hands now causing this stuff, and the spaghetti hands will again buy at the top here and will send these meme coins higher because Bitcoin controls them, right? Bitcoin controls and has control over the spaghetti hands all the time. So that's what I'm thinking when it comes to the short term. Now when it comes to the long term, right? So this is the US CPI report, right? Like the consumer price index, right? This is the inflation report. This shows you how high is the toilet paper price right now. So this is very much correlated with Bitcoin because Bitcoin was created as a hedge against inflation, right? So just keep that in mind. Very, very, very correlated. So this is 2008. You see this gray area here is the recession area, right? Like this was 2020, right? With the pandemic, and this was the 2008 dot-com bubble and whatnot and all that crazy stuff, right? And this was a crash, like real estate and all that stuff. So this red line here is the inflation CPI, right? So it went up as high as 5.6%, and then we had this collapse, right? 2008 and all that stuff, right? So this was a dump. This here, 2009, Bitcoin white paper was launched, Bitcoin first blog, Bitcoin started its first time ever to appear. Bitcoin was here, right? So this is the Bitcoin chart overall. This is 2009, October, January 2010, Bitcoin started its first rally and never came back, right? So also this was the launch, right? They created their Telegram and community and all that. It started here. So when we come here, 2010, you see the pump, 2010, 2011, right? We've seen inflation going up. What happened to Bitcoin? Bitcoin went up, right? 2011, right? So this is July 2011. 2011 here, you see this was the top of inflation, and inflation started going down towards 2012 and up until 2013. What happened to Bitcoin that time? So Bitcoin also topped 2011 and went down till November 2011 too, but slowly started trending. This was like a bear market sideways move, right? Like, and then 2012 it started trending up towards the bull market of 2013, 2014. And what we see here is also inflation was kind of ranging, but there was a spike, right, in 2014. And that was also the time of the top here, right? And that's also led this rally on Bitcoin. Also here, Bitcoin was very cheap, so it was more volatile and was more kind of like a meme coin now, right? And then it went towards a bear market, right? Bear market. Nothing happened. Why is that? Because inflation was going down. This is it, right? Like you see this 2015, 2014, inflation went down. When inflation goes down, Bitcoin goes down with it. When inflation goes up, Bitcoin goes up with it. market. So inflation went down and Bitcoin went down. 2015, you see this one, July, April, March, Bitcoin bear market. And then slowly it started going towards the 2016, 2017 bull market, right? So what happened there then? So here you see that was the bottom, 2015 on inflation. Inflation started to go up, 2017 top, right? 2017 up until 2018, inflation was raging, going up, right? Inflation was skyrocketing. What Bitcoin did at that time too, 2016, 2017, Bitcoin went on a massive bull market, right? Massive bull market. Then it went down, right? It went down. Let's look at inflation then. Inflation also went down, right? Inflation went down with it. So when inflation goes down, Bitcoin goes down. When inflation goes up, Bitcoin goes up, right? Because it's hedging it. It's turning your dollars into more dollars to save you from inflation. So we see the same thing here, right? Like, and then we have obviously now here it started going up towards 2019. It started going up again. What did Bitcoin do toward 2019? Bitcoin also started going up. Whoa, crazy, right? So Bitcoin does follow that CPI inflation, US CPI inflation to the tick, right? Or almost like we can predict it, right? Okay, we can use it as a prediction metric or like indicator. So, but then 2019, what we've seen is, you know what? They locked us down. So this went down. Inflation dropped drastically, like quickly. What happened to Bitcoin? Bitcoin dropped drastically and quickly, right? Like we've seen this huge, massive drop. And then what we see from 2020, inflation skyrocketed toward 8%. This was money printing, the Fed's printing their money, like the machina back into the office printing dollars and inflating the system and all that stuff. And what did Bitcoin do? Went on a massive parabolic rally, right? One of the biggest bull markets ever, right? So each time we have a bigger and bigger bull market. What we see now today. So you see this 2022, that was the top inflation. Also, this was the top on Bitcoin, even though Bitcoin topped a bit before because we had this China ban and we had some fraud around here. Elon Musk calling Bitcoin like environmentally not friendly and uses a lot of energy and all that stuff. There was some fraud here, right? We also had the Coinbase ICO, some tops, like some people call them tops. But anyways, Bitcoin started topping here. But 2022, it just follows to the tick, right? The drop. Inflation's dropping, Bitcoin dropping. Now, here is the interesting part is Bitcoin has just been going up recently, right? Like last 2 years, while inflation is just going sideways. Inflation is supposed to go up, right? Because Bitcoin is going up. Like now it's not correlated anymore. There is a deviation where Bitcoin is pumping, but inflation is kind of really being hammered down, right? Like the Feds and all that hiking rates and they're really fighting inflation. But even though they're doing that, Bitcoin is supposed to not move much, right? And this is part of why also a lot of people got sidelined this bull cycle because they were all waiting, right? They were all waiting for like this was a fake out and we go down because inflation is still not doing much. But Bitcoin started rallying. Why? Because we've had some supposed big banks buying and the Bitcoin ETF and all that stuff was planned, right? We don't know, but it was official here. So also it's the first year we have Bitcoin putting an all-time high before the halving, which never happened before. And we also have, as I said now, Bitcoin rallying for the first time ever without inflation. So to come back to this inflation here, when this is supposed to start to go up, we can predict it more than Bitcoin because it's related to the Feds and what they do, to Jerome Powell. What's their plan for inflation? Their plan is to keep this down, but also their plan is to start cutting rate this year, which means this is gonna start to go up again. Like that's what happens when they cut rate. Like that's what they did here. That's what also they did here. They start printing money. They did here. They start printing money, and now they are about to do it, right? They are about to do it. That's why I always say when you zoom out, when we think about it, we haven't started the real true bull market yet, the up only season, the thing where the machine is printing and where we're just going up non-stop, right? Because the machine, they're printing, right? And Bitcoin is just flying with it. So that's what we are waiting for. That's the long-term macro kind of look on Bitcoin and the crypto space and overall what we could expect, right? We can predict this much more than Bitcoin. It's much easier to predict it. That's why people are always watching the CPI reports and always looking at it and always thinking what the Feds are gonna say and all that stuff, right? So this is it. Now, obviously, there is always the risk, right? Like if the economy crashes, like we have we had a recession here and we had a recession here. This one, the 2020 was like a short-term recession, but quickly after it, we just had a massive pump. Like you wouldn't have time to actually buy enough or quick enough to get into the market because you can see this, like it spiked quick back in, right? Back into the range, like didn't give enough time for people to actually buy. And this was chaotic back then here. Like we didn't know what's gonna happen. Literally, you had your bags down 80% and you were just looking at them. Like people didn't know what to do. And 2 weeks later, it was already starting to go back up. So there was not enough time to be buying because, like, granted, this was a a black swan event. You couldn't really guess what's gonna happen. Like it felt like the world is gonna end. So this could still happen, but the chances are very low, right? Because kind of like the Feds are clearly now saying they want to cut twice this year and they want to start cutting rates. Like some experts are saying, right? Experts are saying the Feds are gonna start to cut by next month, right? So this is part of what makes me super bullish today, what gives me that confidence and comfort that we are still gonna go up higher and that my meme coins are gonna go way higher, right? Because meme coins are further down the risk curve, as they say, where they are more risky, and the more money is in the system, the more money people have, the more they want to take risks, and this money flows back to the meme coin. And as we all know, meme coins are the biggest gainers of this cycle, right? And business as usual, things that we are been talking about still stand. Nothing has changed, right? Not because we have a one daily candle. Nothing has changed. The overall market, when you zoom out, that's what we have. We have an overall trending inflation, overall weakening US dollar, which means Bitcoin is gonna be overall getting stronger and just keep trending higher over time for a long time. So that's what we got. And as soon as inflation is topping again, it starts to curve back in, then we can call it a day, and then we can call it that's the bear market now, right? For now, we do not have those. Like you see this peak here, that was June 2020. That was the highest ever inflation got to, right? And this was 2.8%. Also, Bitcoin here was like 20K, right? And here Bitcoin was 69K. Now here, Bitcoin with 3.4% inflation is way higher than 2.9 inflation back in 2018. So you can see that overall also Bitcoin is gaining, and the next run will sell Bitcoin way higher, right? I know it sounds crazy now, but that's what we got. Like when I'm looking at this, you let me know, but that's what we see, right? If inflation just goes back to just 5%, this will send Bitcoin to crazy amounts, right? Because of this, right? Here at almost 3% inflation, Bitcoin was at 20K. That was its top ever, right? And here now, when inflation was 9%, Bitcoin was 69K. Now inflation is 3%, is more than half that, and Bitcoin is 69K. So what happens when inflation just ticks up by 1% or 2%? That's all what we need really for a bull market, just to inflation to just go to that 4.5%, 5%, right? Around that. And that's it. This is gonna send this to the moon. Anyways, now back to our meme coins, right? Like, so I haven't shown you this chart for a long time, but for those that have been watching, so this was a chart that I've pulled together with Pepe, with BONK, Doge, SHIBA, Floki. Now top meme coins, right, against Bitcoin. So this is their chart, right? So this also starts to track this price from or since that December, right? End of year. This was also when we started to see like the massive euphoria meme coin season, right? So, and this breakout was Pepe, right? And this is against Bitcoin. So since what? Since that time, meme coins have been outperforming Bitcoin, and it's been over 180 days, right? Where meme coins, let's say they topped here, they topped right around here, right? So they topped around 100 days. So for 100 days, meme coins had been outperforming Bitcoin non-stop, just pumping non-stop, right? Now we're seeing a different thing, right? Like we've seen them slowly or ranging with Bitcoin, ranging like when Bitcoin goes down, they go up. When Bitcoin goes down, it's like they're trading against Bitcoin, basically holding this range, right? So when you look at this chart, it looks like, right? It looks like it's gonna go down, but we do have some kind of like a range also here. We have a range, this range here, and we could call it also a fake out here, and we might see another fake out here, right? Where everybody sells meme coins, goes to Bitcoin or whatever they do with that money, and think that it's over with, and then we see a mean reversion from meme coins, and we continue up, and people buy again higher because the market wants you to do that, right? Remember, market wants people, the spaghetti hands, the market want them to sell low, to sell here at a loss, right? Give that money back to the market and want them to buy here with less money and repeat the same process overall on an uptrend. So that's first. Second thing is the RSI. So RSI shows you the strength of a move when it's at strongest and when it's at its weakest. So at its strongest, this was the pump we had. Like at its strongest, this was with BONK, Pepe, all over the places. We had meme coins going 100%, 200%, 300% per day. And this is the daily chart. They were going ham crazy. So this was also predicting the top here, or around the top of this chart. And now it's at around the lows now, right? That's why this RSI is getting me really bullish on meme coins right now and giving me that confidence that we are almost bottoming on meme coins. And this could also do this, right? The same way it did it at the highs, also can do it at the lows, faking everyone, right? And then mean reversion again. And we get another pump on the RSI, which also means pump here on meme coins. This is the top meme coins. And this goes without saying, when top meme coins pump, the whole ecosystem pumps with it, the whole thing, right? Now, talking about ecosystem, we do also have ETH ETF coming soon, right? Not to forget about that, which also means ETH memes are gonna rally hard, and the Pepeverse, if you watched yesterday's video, in my opinion, gonna be the biggest narrative of this cycle. I'm very confident that this gonna be one of those massive gainers, as Pepe is now that's new shiny and the new cycle's darling. And this means the Pepeverse narrative and the ETH ETF and everything on ETH is gonna be boiling up and sending higher. So now the plan says the same. If you're looking for dips, this is it, right? Like, it depends what your portfolio size or whatnot. Like, so for big portfolios, like top meme coins are always best, right? You want to allocate on the top meme coins, especially Pepe now, Floki, right? These two. Why? Because they're on ETH. Solana might not be the greatest right now. So Pepe, Floki for the big ones, and even Book of Meme, right? Because it's pretty decent now. Again, back to the $500 million in its market cap. It's pretty decent. We do have Turbo again. Also, like, Turbo is on ETH, down 29%. Like, it's almost close to the 200 million target that I had for it, where I would be really looking into those dips, right? So we're going down. Like, we have Pepe coin, the other Pepe related, is also on ETH. This is also not bad, right? We got Mog, also not bad, right? I will not be looking into Solana meme coins right now, but we got Andy on ETH. We got Ponke and Myro. These two are not bad on Solana, right? So you choose your poison, or you pick your poison among these two. It's just that we want to be looking into ETH, as I do think, right? Like, so we have the ETH ETF coming, right? The coins that are gonna bounce the hardest are the ones on ETH. Then we're gonna have, once we're gonna ignite another meme coin season, then we're gonna be looking into Solana, Base, and the other guys, right? So we do have also Toshi, Kokinu, Ladies, right? Even though Toshi is Base, Kokinu is Avalanche, Ladies is ETH, right? And even now Politify is bleeding. This MAGA is not bad on ETH, right? Politify, we got Snake on Cardano, Arbdoge, Grok, the list goes on, right? Like, we have also Brett ETH, we have those low market cap ones. Like, the same thing keeps going. Like, we look at when now on Solana, couldn't survive, right? It's still not bad though, right? Still not bad. One also that I do think, right, is kind of undervalued is Gami on Solana. So Gami got hit hard with that Solana curse. This is very critical, right? It's very important to understand that Solana is infested with them spaghetti hands and G-toes, and we're just gonna call it Gitlana at this point, right? But you see now, Gami is the banters, crypto banters meme coin, and I do think, right, personally, like, I don't see why Crypto Banter won't keep supporting this through the bull market, right? Keep in mind, now I'm looking for strong narratives for the bull market that we just talked about, right? I would personally be interested around 10 million. I would love that. Like, please, Crypto Banter, let it drop a bit. But I would be looking into this, right? Like, DCA time right now. This is one of those that are very low now. At 37 million, I would still wait for it a bit, but DCA won't be bad. There are so many right now at the same level right now. I would prefer ETH ones, right? Like Bread ETH and all that. Things that are on ETH now, that especially the Pepeverse, right? The ETH ETF, I do think that's gonna be the narrative as soon as we're gonna wake up from that. Like, that's mostly what's gonna happen. Though, I do think Gummy is not bad. That's something I'm looking at. You can also join my Discord. Link in the description if you do want to make it in this bull market. I do share a lot of plays there as well. And it's for free to join for now. We're gonna keep it private at some point once we're gonna reach that full capacity. And that's it. Anyways, guys, we're gonna wrap it up here. I hope you enjoyed today's video. I hope this was helpful, right? We keep an eye on this CPI and all that, Bitcoin and all that stuff. This is very normal for those that are new and don't understand why Bitcoin is dumping and why this is happening and all that stuff. Is just normal. The markets are trading, right? People are buying and selling. Bitcoin is going down towards the low range low. Overall, we are headed towards a massive bull market on all assets: Bitcoin, stocks, commodities, Pepes, and the gummies and Solanas and all that stuff. We're headed towards that kind of bull market. That's what we really want to know, and that's what keeps me sane when I look at my portfolio down multiple six figures. I understand, look, let me go to that CPI, let me drink my coffee, let me get my brain clear, and let me look at that CPI and what it's doing, and I see that it's at the lows and it's ready to pump back up as the rate cuts are coming. So stay tuned for the next video. Thank you so much for watching this video till the end, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.